when we are on earth, we receive grace to do for us, to do for ourselves what we should do. Not saying to God to do it. Now, please hear me. Hear me. Hear me. When the people of Israel were in bondage, and it was time for them to go out, they couldn't go out until they did something. Until the family of the Jacob and the Amra, they gave back to Moses. They gave back to Moses. Giving back to Moses means those that want deliverance has given back to a deliverer. Huh? That means deliverance can be accomplished now, because those who want deliverance has given birth to a deliverer. That is men doing for themselves what they should do. So the spirit of inspiration helps us to do for ourselves what we must do. That is why if you are a lady, one of the ways to know your kind of husband is through your major gifts. Let me say it again. It is a man you will use your physical ability to contribute to that you will marry. Can I say it again? I say it is a man you will use your endowment to contribute to. So your environment point to you, to your type of man. What you are in grace to do points you to your kind of man. You see, because you are marrying the man as a human being, not as a spirit. And the marriage, there is nothing spiritual about it. So it's not about prayer. It's about human connection. It's about the exchange of usefulness. This man will need me this way, and I'm going to fit into this as his wife, nothing else. Because this is the way I am, and this is what I can do for him, nothing else. So I am his female because I am this and I am like this and I can do this, nothing else. It's not about dreaming. It's about using what you have to serve a particular purpose. Am I saying something? If the Lion of Judah must come, the Lion of Judah will need a human lion. Since the ministry is 8, so we don't need spiritual lion. The spiritual lion should empower a physical lion on 8. A lion should not empower a pussycat. Some people say, oh God, you use me the way you are, the way I am. Why not? He will use you the way you are. But don't forget that he will use you to accomplish something you can accomplish. Can I say something? Nothing frustrates quicker on earth like trying to abandon for spirits things you should do. When that happens, people make mockery of their humanity. Nothing sustains poverty on earth like making mockery of your humanity. Just like you're going to exchange your human value to take another human value of a man, and a man ignored his human value and want to rubbish your own, and you're calling it love. It is only manipulation that can bring two people who are not meant to be together, and that is satanic. I said that is why when it is satanic, it becomes incompatibility, and then somebody dies. So when that pastor was praying God's will for you, he's a madman. The man should not worry God about that. The man should look at the connects. Do you know what it means for a man to have fed his intelligence for about 35 years and suddenly he want to live with somebody who have done nothing on his mind? You see, because marriage borders on expectation. On expectation, there must be. So this one who is already enlightened, he can see from everywhere in his eyes. Huh? And then this other one is an accident. And then he said, love, how does it connect? Love connects. So when people keep on going to what they call spirituality, frustration takes over. Because no matter how long you close your eyes, you open it. Here on earth, we don't close eyes. I say here on earth, we don't know. Closing eyes is a short time. That's why when somebody is praying prayer and the prayer is very long, you try to open your eyes, because you see, because we don't close eyes here. This place is art. Somebody did say yeah. I said when somebody is in a long prayer, it doesn't happen to you. Because you're saying, come, this place is earth. I'm tired of closing my eyes. Here on earth, we don't close eyes. We open up because we live by our eyes. I said we live. So when the prayer lasts long, when will this prayer end? You're tired. Now all the spirituality that involve closing eyes on earth wearies people. I say all the spirituality that do what? Excuse me. Have you not seen it? All the eateries in Ireland here, they are all taken away. Listen, before Iba it was not taken away. You sit down there and eat your Iba and leave their plate for them. Now Iba is also a takeaway. Obono soup is a takeaway because people are tired. So if you open a restaurant and be buying plates, you're wasting your time. Put their bitter leaf soup on something, they can take it to home. Now they can eat it inside their car. That is how far the earth has gone. They want to eat the soup where? In their car. That is for those who came from village or who still want to eat. Large number of people buy something they can eat. Buns, all this meat pie, drink, and be driving and be going. That is how far the earth is moving. And then don't take the earth backward. I said don't take. You see this church? Maybe on Sunday I will preach 20 minutes. Then you now know where I am. Head wash 5 minutes. People are already going as we are sharing grace. You'll be going, I say, as you're going, you're going, the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, you're already going. Now that's to tell you that I know where I am. It is human. God, listen, God rules the earth. If God must depend on what men provide for him to rule the earth, why do you want God to do for you what he should do? Please listen. I give you this gift. Why royalty is given to the family of Judah? It's because they produce lions. That means they are people of strength. So everything that have to do with strength is associated with Judah. It's not about prophecy. When Jacob was giving blessing, Jacob looked at physical fitness. He looked at ability. I said, Jacob, he looked at Judah and said, Judah, that way you are physically, it is you, your brethren, will bow to. He said, you are a lion. If Judah has a good nature, Jacob will not give him that prophecy. He said, Israel will sit down, you will sit down under them until Shiloh comes. So the messianism of kingship of the Lamb was a messianism of an ability, of a man's ability, not a spiritual messianism. It was a messianism of a value. It was a worthy messianism. It was a messianism that made demand on the way a man is. What a man can do, not what God will do for a man. Am I saying something? I say it is a messianism of what a man can do. I say a messianism of a man's ability. Of a conglomerate of all the gifts and charismatisms. I say all the gifts that are human was involved in that messianism. And so we don't wait for God. I say we don't wait for God. In chapter 6 of the book of Judges, the angel said to Gideon, go in your might. Go. He said, go in your might and destroy the Midianites. Go in your might. He didn't say God will fight for you. So can we stop folding our hand and expect God to do for us what we should do for ourselves? That is why some people, instead of being happy, they give nothing. Listen, if you don't, I want you to listen to me, because nothing frustrates believers like saying that God is not blessing them. God have not done this one for them. God have not done. Some of those people have sat down on something that they should make useful for themselves. Until something they should make useful, they sat down on it and said, hey, God has forsaken us. Which God forsake you? You forsake yourself. God will not take responsibility. God will not try to take responsibility for anybody who decided to hand over to him what that man should do for himself. There are always something God will do for us after we have done what we should do. I said there are always things God should do after we have done what we should do, not when we have done nothing. Am I saying something? Am I saying something? Am I saying something now? And then that brought me to the earth is made subject to man. Right on your plate. That's what I'm sharing. The earth is what? The earth is made subject to man. God created the earth that man should control it. Now when you hear made subject to man, it means that the earth is made subject to what man can do. The earth is made subject to the ability of man. Now, here on earth, it is men that protect men. It is men that God used to protect men. Am I saying it? Can I say it again? I say here on earth, it is men that God used to protect men. When a man wants to marry you, before you put it in prayer, write down his human values. I say write down his human values before the prayer. If the human values look like they are worthy human values, you can now put it in prayer. Not praying prayer as zero human value. And then when you are writing the value of that man, write your own value and see whether two of them can come together. Here in Africa, a girl cannot say no to a man because he cannot be able to live with that height. There is a man that is coming to you. You know that man will put you, marrying that man will make you a slave. You tell him no. Marrying the man will make you. Yes. That height is too much for you. Tell him to live your life alone. Because if you eventually marry that man, you cannot meet the expectation of such height. And that will land slavery. Every day will be complaining. Huh? Even when you wear your best cloth, he will not still like it. You don't need such a man. I say even when you wear your best cloth, you will not still be satisfied. That means the separation is too much. Psalm 116.